Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
We sail ever closer to the All-Star game this coming Tuesday. A beautiful night in our fine city, San Diego. A great crowd on hand at Petco Park for the third game of the four-game series between the Cincinnati Reds and the San Diego Padres. And good evening, everyone. With Mark Sweeney, we welcome aboard, sitting in for Mark Grant on holiday. The Padres won the first game in dramatic style 2-1, and then last night it was just too much. Arroyo Grande, as the UT referred to him, as he shut out the Padres 6-0. But here we go, start a new win streak.
Yeah, you got to start a new win streak. You got to feel good about the way you're playing. Bronson Arroyo just really had great stuff last night. It's, that's what happens when a guy has that stuff in the big leagues. But start a new streak. That's right. And Clayton Richard has been the man the last 5 starts with a 4-1 record, 1.70 ERA. He's limited the opposing hitters to a 2.12 average. Yeah, Clayton Richard has been outstanding. Really, for the last 5 starts has been really duplicating his delivery, throwing the fastball where he wants to, locating that, but also everything else works off of that. He's been a workhorse. Well, he's never beaten the Reds, and Homer Bailey, his pitching opponent, has beaten the Padres 3-0. Well, you know what, Dick? When you talk to the Reds people, they love Homer Bailey. If the playoffs started today, they think he would be their third pitcher in their lineup. So that speaks volumes of what Homer Bailey has really been doing. Well, the Reds only 1 game behind Pittsburgh in the National League Central, so a lot at stake for them. They want to get it back in first place before the All-Star break. So we're set to go here at Petco Park. Now, I'm warning you folks, pay attention. The ball may find you. And meanwhile, the Padres look for the start of a new winning streak against the Reds tonight. Play ball.
That's Padres Baseball, brought to you by AT&T, the largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Petco, where the healthy pets go.
And we're set to go on this San Diego perfect Saturday night for baseball here at Petco Park. Enthusiastic crowd. Charlie Sheen throwing out the first pitch tonight, and members of the U.S. Olympic team, they're just days away from their trip to London for the 2012 Olympics, and the crowd giving them a rousing send-off. And we're underway, and Zach Cozart takes a strike from Clayton Richard. Cozart, a home run leading off last night. In fact, twice on this road trip, once in San Francisco against Matt Cain, and again last night against Kip Wells, opened the game with a home run.
Very excited about this young man. The Reds are, and putting him in the leadoff spot, putting a lot of pressure for a rookie.
Not bad, 9 home runs this rookie. In fact, the left side of the infield tonight, as it was the first 2 games, rookies for Dusty Baker, and here is his lineup for Cincinnati. Reds with a 45-38 record. Cozart, then Stubbs. Joey Votto, a super first baseman all-star starter. Brandon Phillips. Then Jay Bruce, Todd Frazier, also home run last night, and a rookie. Chris Heisey in left, and Devin Mesoraco, a rookie catcher, behind the plate. Homer Bailey, the pitcher. Now, Mesoraco is thought of so highly that the Reds were willing to give up Yasmani Grandal in the trade for Latos. 1-2 to Cozart. He has 20 doubles, and so does Yonder Alonso. They lead the rookie race for most 2-base hits at this stage. That one sails out of play. Clayton Richard, 6'4" and 245 pounds, probably the best conditioned, strongest Padre on the roster, now 28 years of age. That young man will be wearing a smile all weekend. Started to go and able to check back. It's 2-2.
One of the keys for Clayton Richard is that late movement in the strike zone. If he's getting on top of his baseball, he's going to have late movement, and you can see that by the way Grandal receives the pitch.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Last night against Kip Wells, Cozart found that little pie of bleacher seats down the left field corner in the Western Metal Supply Company building. You know, all 3 home runs last night were either in the first or second row hit by the Reds, so they've measured the dimensions of Petco perfectly. Fly ball to right field, right at Denorfia, and there's one away. Take a look at the Mazda Padre defense with Quinton, Maben, and Denorfia left to right in the outfield. Chase Headley and Yonder Alonso at the corners. Amarista and Forsythe up the middle. Yasmani Grandal behind the plate for Clayton Richard. Padres defense brought to you by Mazda. Drew Stubbs, center fielder, hitting .214, and he broke out of an 0-for-32 slump last night when he doubled in the 9th inning and scored on Votto's double.
That is very difficult to deal with mentally. Taking a big breath of fresh air when he got to second base.
Another chance for Denorfia. He's on his horse. That ball's hit well, and it's going to carry into the top of the auxiliary scoreboard for a home run. Just measured perfectly again. Just inches long enough to be a home run, and that ball truly carried for Stubbs, who has his 9th home run of the year.
Well, like I said, you know, last night getting that double in the 9th inning was a breath of fresh air. This is a great approach, using his legs. Big power by Drew Stubbs, especially going to right center with that home run. Beautiful swing.
So Cozart starts the last night's game with a home run, and it's Stubbs tonight, and Joey Votto wastes no time in delivering a base hit to right field. Is the Votto now hitting at .350 plus. Now this is a good hitting lineup for Dusty Baker, and that man anchors it all, Joey Votto.
You know, just location here, Joey Votto with a ball down the middle and elevated is always going to do some damage, and it's usually going to be on line, if not in the seats.
That brings up the cleanup hitter, Brandon Phillips. Phillips at .278. And 10 home runs. As we mentioned last night,
The ball gets away from Grandal, but not far enough for Votto to advance. The only thing he doesn't do extremely well is run.
Outstanding player. One of those guys that really you want to watch hit every single night.
Even taking batting practice. A delight to watch. He's an artist. He's a perfectionist. As Marty Brenneman, our guest in the pregame show, said, if he goes 2 for 2, he wants to go 3 for 3. Every at bat, he's up there to get a base hit. He said, did Brenneman, who's covered the Reds for now almost 40 years, he reminds him of Pete Rose. That's intensity. That's
very high praise. Those perfectionists, the big thing that I think, Dick, is just setting the bar.
There's Marty barking away at the Cincinnati audience. One of the best. He's in the Hall of Fame. One and two now on Phillips.
These guys just set the bar so high at that level, the all-star level, and they have to really get better and better. That's the mindset of Joey Votto, and it's very impressive.
Said he's read every book written, every article written about Ted Williams, feeling that Williams, the best hitter maybe ever. Why not learn from him, even by reading how to play? Leila Rahimi, what do you have for us?
Well, just to continue about Joey Votto and Yonder Alonso. Alonso has said he's learned a lot from Votto, especially when he played under him in the Reds organization. And Votto, of course, taking that first base spot for the Reds, but that didn't stop Yonder from learning. He said that he appreciates the way Votto prepares for the game and the time he takes when it comes to just learning. And then additionally, he said that he takes pride in not just hitting and defense, but also being a good teammate. And that's something that Alonso said he appreciated as well.
You know, it's a good mentor for him at Votto, and you can see Alonso there almost looking at him with admiration as Phillips strikes out, 2 away, and Jay Bruce the batter.
Still learning the game at first base, having conversations.
Pick the brain, huh?
Got to.
Bruce, a .253 hitter, leads the team in home runs, 17, and RBIs. Whose brain did you pick when you came up in the big leagues?
You know, the greatest part, Dick, is being on 7 ball clubs. I had a lot of success listening to certain guys, Tony Gwynn, Wally Joyner from here, all kinds of guys. You had to pick your brain to learn something every day.
On the outside corner.
Well, you know what? Tony was that guy that really, when he talked hitting, you opened your ear. It wasn't just an instructional. You just had to listen because of his consistency.
High fly ball. This is catchable. DeNorfia gives ground. Ball carrying well to right field tonight. Reds get a run on the home run by Stubbs, his 9th of the year, and lead it 1-0. Earlier, Charlie Sheen here to throw out the first pitch, and even the umpires wanted to get their picture taken with the actor. Look at this. His first pitch, a little slider.
Yeah,
it was out of the
action.
Of course, start in the motion picture Major League, was a co-star actually. Bob Uecker was the star. And here we go. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Reds, and Chris Denorfia, then Amarista and Headley to hit for Bud Black's Padres. Denorfia leading batting average on the club at .304. The last 25 games, .364. 10 for the last 17, so he's been wielding a hot bat. And he swings at the first pitch and sends a deep drive to center field. Stubbs back, and he will touch them all. Denorfia ties it up. Mr. Bailey, your first name, please. Homer for Denorfia. It's tied at 1. Denorfia's third of the year.
Outstanding approach. When this ball is elevated, it flattens out. Outstanding swing by Chris Denorfia, elevating that fastball, getting the barrel of the bat on the baseball, and man, is it traveling tonight.
Yeah, this is the best of the year. The ball is flying at Petco, a rarity. Alexi Amarista, his 9-game hitting streak snapped last night as Denorfia able to digest that long home run to tie it up. Even with the 9-game streak snapped, he has hit .412 in that span and a surprising 4 home runs. Fouled into the glove of catcher Mesoraco, a fastball. And as soon as the leadoff hitter comes in after a home run, they're all saying, "What'd you get? What you got?" I don't know. I only saw a pitch or two.
I saw a fastball.
Little looper past third and foul. Past Glenn Hoffman there at third. He's celebrating birthday number 54 today and tonight. Happy birthday to the fine third base coach of the Padres. Keep him waving in. Keep waving that right arm around. Lots of windmills tonight for Hoffman. Gets those runners home. Whoa. A little chin music from Bailey. Actually, Homer is a moniker. His name is David Bailey, but his great grandfather, I guess thinking he was going to be a hitter someday, wanted to call him Homer.
You can see the catcher raising his eye level. That's what he wants to try to do when he gets into those 2-strike counts. He wants to raise the eye level and throw that 4-seamer up there that's uncomfortable for the hitters.
And Amarista now works the count full. And he swings and drives it to center field, but right at Stubbs, who only had to take a couple of steps to gather it in. Well hit by Amarista for an out. Well, here's the Padres batting order brought to you by Toyota. Denorfia and Amarista. Now Headley steps in. Carlos Quinton trying to snap out of a streak. He's 0 for 18. Yasmani Grandal, then Yonder Alonso, Cameron Maben, Logan Forsythe starts tonight at second base, and then Clayton Richard. Headley, 11-game hitting streak as he steps in. Curveball.
Well, with Homer Bailey, you're going to get a feature. He's going to sit around 92, 94. We've seen the fastball. Also slider, curve, and also a split finger that he features.
Jumps in front of. Well, actually, that foul ball makes it 1-1. Product of LaGrange, Texas, halfway between Austin and Houston. Layla Rahimi country.
She loves Texas.
Yeah, no doubt. 2-1. Third time that Denorfia has hit a career leadoff home run. That one line down the left field line and slicing back into the crowd. And again, look how far that carries beyond the aisle. Down in the corner.
Well, the key for Homer Bailey is like everybody else. You got to keep it down. When he's down, he has more movement on his fastball. But if he's elevated, it flattens out, just like Chris Denorfia did. He got that flat one, took it out of the yard.
Count stays at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Final game before the break tomorrow. 1 o'clock, noon for Padres Live with Jason Marquis getting the start after only 3 days rest. Johnny Cueto 9-5, the ace for the Reds. Fly ball to right center field, and that ball is hit. Stubbs back. That's against the wall. And Headley cruises into second with a double. All three Padre batters making solid contact. Home run, line out, double. 12-game streak now for Headley.
Well, I love when Chase Headley hunts that fastball, and he got one. Perfect pitch for a left-hander, perfect swing, and an outstanding job. This ball is traveling, so if they're going to get on the fastball, tonight is definitely the night. Homer Bailey is elevating his pitches.
Maybe that's a good sign for the man stepping in now, Carlos Quinton. His average has dipped down to 267. Looking for his first hit in July. Strike one. Curveball pinching the outside corner. 1-1 tie. Couple of solo home runs here in the opening inning. Just a little high, 1-1.
Well, talking to Phil Plantier, the hitting coach for the Padres, he says that Carlos Quinton really needs to control his barrel of his bat. It dips down, it gets underneath baseballs, producing foul balls and also swings and misses.
Chops to third foul. How do you do that? How do you correct that flaw?
Well, it's basically contact point, but it has to come with the drills. You want to really show that barrel and be short. That's a good swing, just hitting the top of the baseball. But his consistency, you know what? This is a guy that's a streaky hitter. He can really carry a ball club for 2, maybe 3 weeks. And also he can go through those funks too as well.
John Baker there with hitting coach Plantier. Just missed the low outside corner. 2-2.
You know, Dick, we talk about it. You know, he has a right center approach, which is great if you're an RBI guy. But Phil Plantier said something to me today. He'd like to see him pull the ball a little bit more, getting that top of the hand on top of the baseball.
Headley out at second base. 1 away. We got a pitch there. Our Lexus keys to the game, Mark Sweeney.
Well, hopefully the Padres hear that famous Homer Simpson phrase, "Don't!" And they heard it already, so that's a good thing. Homer Bailey's done real well on this road trip. And cue it up. Carlos Quinton has to do some damage within the middle of the lineup. 0 for his last 18.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Quinton. Fox track brought to you by Southland Technology. He chases a bad ball, strike 3. That's when you're going over, you're going after pitches like that.
Well, when you're getting into those pitchers counts, it's very difficult, and he's getting out of the strike zone. Very frustrating, and you can really see it. This ball is down the dirt, and when you get into hitters counts, you have to expand the zone, and you can see the frustration on Carlos Quinton. It's going to happen. He's going to get out of it, but all it takes is one swing, but he can change the game with one swing.
Well, he makes everyone around him better just by his presence and the threat that he possesses. Yasmani Grandal with Headley at second, 2 out. And takes that breaking ball for a strike. Grandal has hit safely in the last 5 games. And he hits this ball to left field. Chris Heisey toward the line. And the Padres gone in the first, but just as Drew Stubbs homered for the Reds, Chris Denarthia answers for the Padres, and it's tied at 1. tie it up. We go to the top of the second. Todd Frazier leads it for Cincinnati. Rookie third baseman Scott Rowland back spasms over the weekend, so Frazier's taken over, and as you can see, he's been very productive. Not starting all the games for the Reds. He's going to be tough to keep out of the starting lineup.
Yeah, and you can keep moving this guy down in the order too, because he's producing.
9th home run last night. So he and Zach Cozart, the two rookies on the left side of the infield at third and short, each with 9 home runs for the Reds. That's more than the Padre leader, Headley, with 8. Speaking of Headley, throws him out. Clayton Richard on the mound. Our Geico quote comes from manager Bud Black.
Up until now, I think we've seen a gradual progression of his stuff. You know, the life on the ball, more consistency to his secondary pitches, and we're seeing that over the last month. So I think, you know, he is near where he was in 2010, if not completely back. He's throwing the ball great.
Yeah, the manager is pleased. In the last 5 games, 4-1. Another chance, no, goes foul. And 2 changes from Clayton Richard to Chris Heisey. And here's another 4th outfielder, Heisey, but when he plays against the Reds, you'd think he's one of their very best, that he should be starting. He's a good player. There's a strike.
Well, to me, we always talk about Clayton Richard and his command with his fastball, but I love the fact that he loves to throw in, and that opens up all kinds of things with his off-speed stuff as well.
Slider, 2-2. The home run given up by Clayton Richard, his 14th of the season, 13 of them from right-handed hitters, only 1 from the left side. That ball to left field, and Quinton has to race back and makes the running catch. Timed well by Quinton as Heisey lined sharply to deep left.
Well, in the outfield, your only job is to really get a good break, and Carlos Quinton does exactly that. When this ball's driven and it looked like he was going to get past him, the first step is the big step. Carlos Quinton, nice job eyeing that into his glove.
So 2 out to the young catcher, Devin Mesoraco. And he's an important name to remember. Dusty Baker feels that this young guy is going to be just not good, but a great player. So good and so highly touted that the Reds were willing to trade Yasmani Grandal in that 4-for-1 trade, Matt Latos. Grandal's a Padre because the man at the plate was considered to be the better potential player. Although they loved Grandal, and Marty Brenneman in our comments before the game, the interview, said they really hated to see Grandal go, but he was stuck behind this kid.
Well, good for us.
Yes.
You know, for Padre fans, you know, you got to be excited, especially the way Yasmani Grandal has started it off.
That ball hit high and deep, and Maben racing to the warning path, and at the wall makes the catch. Wow, is the ball carrying well tonight? 1, 2, 3, but some hard hit balls in the inning by the Reds. gracious enough to put on the microphone and talk about the ball and how it's carrying tonight.
Well, Dick, those balls were smoked. I don't think the balls carrying in are different, but I know that Stubbs hit the heck out of that ball to right, and Dino got his too. Well, and even Mesoraco hit that one pretty good, but a little bit too high.
Hey, buddy, Chris Denorfia has been outstanding as of late. You know, you guys have really gone with the Will Venable and Chris Denorfia. Hard to keep him out of the lineup?
Well, it is. He's playing really well the last couple of weeks, swinging the bats. You know, we're looking at matchups still, Swing. I think that you look at Will and Dino, I think they both complement each other in a lot of different ways, and it's I think it's good at times to mix and match, but it's awful tough to keep Dino out of there the way he's swinging.
Say the same thing about Logan Forsythe.
He's doing well too. Those three guys in the middle, Cabby, Logan, and Lexi, are all doing very well. Again, I think it's tough to grind these guys every single day, and I think it helps that these guys get their starts.
Well, let's go get them.
Okay.
Bud Black. No, Bud Black with his comments here just a few moments ago. Yonder Alonso leads off the second inning and goes down swinging. Brings up Cameron Maben. Maben showing new life in that bat as he's changed his hitting style in Arizona.
Nice of Bud Black to take some time. That's difficult being a major league manager, having all kinds of things on your mind.
Yeah, we all know he's just a good guy. If you don't like Bud Black, there's something wrong with you. Fastball for a strike. Starts out Maben. Leads the team in runs scored, triples, and stolen bases. That ball sharply struck, but at the shortstop, and Cozart across for the out. 2 away. Well, you've been analyzing the new stance of Cameron Maben, Mark.
Well, I like his approach, but with the leg kick, he has a lot of head movement, so I'll dot it right there and show where he is starting his swing, and then gets out of the strike zone. That's the big thing when your head movement. But here's the new swing with the little toe tap. That's where his head starts when he's loaded, and then he goes forward with that transition, and I love how he stays in the zone. You can see the difference. It's much shorter on the right side. That right side was the biggest home run probably of his life.
Right. Not only shorter, but on a level plane.
Exactly. And when you have a lot of head movement, Dick, you get out of the strike zone, and you also take pitches you think are actually balls.
Forsythe works the count 2-0. So when Joey Votto comes up the next time, let's look at him, because they say one of the reasons that he has such great success is he literally has no head movement. He's got to move it a little bit, I'm sure, but it'd be interesting to compare.
And I think that's the consistency. It's the consistency that you really want as a hitter. You look at Tony Gwynn, you look at Barry Bonds, two dynamic hitters, two different hitters, but their head movement was very little. Joey Votto slips right into that category.
3-0 now to Forsythe. Bailey lays in a strike. 94 on an easy fastball.
Get me over 94.
Forsythe 2 nights ago with that clutch pinch hit home run. Broken bat looper, and that's into the glove of Cozart at shortstop. The inning comes to an end. 1-2-3 for Bailey. We go to the third. It's 1-1.
enter the third inning. And an injury update for you. Andrew Kashner underwent an MRI, and the results showed what we thought. He does have a strained lat muscle, and Benny Black said he's expected to be out about 4 weeks. Also, one other guy who has a strained lat muscle is Eric Stoltz. He pitched a simulated game today, and Black says he continues to improve, expects him to have a rehab start sometime in the near future, looking at maybe 1 to 2 rehab starts. So that is the latest information on the pitching staff. Dick Enberg, Mark Sweeney. Let's send it back upstairs.
All right, Layla, thanks for that update. And here earlier in that simulated game, pitching to Jesus Guzman is the left-hander Stoltz.
Justin Hatcher out there as the umpire. You got to love that.
He's got a keen eye, Hatch. Bailey takes a pretty good pitch, and it's 2-2.
Well, if you're Clayton Richard, you want those pitches. That down in the zone with movement fastball.
There's strike 3. And it's the second strikeout for the Padre left-hander. One away, and to the top of the order, Zach Cozart. Wonder if at home when Cozart is introduced they play a little Mozart for Cozart.
Well, it's all about the walk-up music.
Well, Mark Loretta joining our team again. Great to have a former Padre second baseman, a member of the Padre family. And he's taken your position down by the Padre dugout as Cozart cues that one foul.
It's a good vantage point, Sweens.
Got a heads up for those foul balls, buddy. I had one come right off that wall.
I'll tell you what, watch your lips down here, right?
Do not look at the monitor.
You got to charge those line drives. 1-1. Ground ball. Second baseman Forsythe whips his throw to first for the out. 2 gone. Well, you get the second baseman Loretta down there and right on cue. Ground ball to the second baseman for an out.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask him. You know, Lo, how impressed are you with Logan Forsythe, Alexi Amarista, and also Cabrera as well?
Well, the defense has been so much better the last 10 days. It's been excellent. And I think what they've done is brought energy, athleticism to the middle of the diamond, and they've all played very well.
That Fox Sports San Diego beach towel that they gave away tonight, is that mine that right up behind you on the railing there? You're going to bring that up to me afterwards?
Yeah, it's got some sand on it, Dick.
Yeah,
I'll bring it up.
That's the way I like it.
Straight off the beach.
Stubbs homered his first time and hits it sharply to short. Good glove by Amarista to throw him out. Boy, that's a quick inning. Just a handful of pitches, and the Reds are going in order. You to, as you enjoy a cold one. Look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. I imagine out on that beautiful Would you call that a yacht? Pretty close.
That's why he's docked. He had to work tonight.
Little Miller Lite out there. First pitch is a strike to Clayton Richard, who has 4 hits this year, including that pinch hit to help beat the Angels a month ago. And he flies this one foul off third. Long run for Heise, and he won't quite get there. Padre fan number 31, number 1 in the program now. Follow Fox Sports San Diego's coverage of the Padres with MLB.com at Bat 12 for your iPhone, Windows Mobile, iPad, Android. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, lots more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Padres.com for details. Richard's still alive, 0-2 the count. Little John McEnroe look there.
It's Wimbledon.
Yep, and Serena Williams not only won the singles title again this year at the All England Club, she and Sister Venus captured the doubles title. Greatest sister act in all of sport, not just tennis. Fouls out of play. Win it again.
You got to be excited for tomorrow, right?
That's going to be a terrific match.
Andy Murray, yes.
After all those years, the Brits have just been so patient and cheered everyone else and not had a single man reach the finals of their Wimbledon since 1938. I've got to root for Andy Murray. I love Roger Federer. Who doesn't? That is strike 3. Bailey returns the favor just as Richard struck him out. Well, here we go in the Padres live pregame show. They ask, what's the worst name or toughest name to have as a pitcher? You can text A, B, C, or D, depending on your choice, to 777-888. Is it Homer, Bailey, Grant, Ball 4, Bob Walk, or Eric Plunk?
I think it's a no-brainer. It's Homer Bailey, because B, C, and D, if you're on base, Homer Bailey, it's a granny.
Yeah, he cost you 4 points.
It's going to cost you 4. A solo shot, just Homer Bailey. That's an easy one.
Yeah, it's a shame that there isn't a player slam. They're, Slam and Sam and golf, but Sammy Slam, that'd be a good one.
Well, you got to have a name like Josh Outman.
Yeah, Josh Outman. He's a relief pitcher with the Rangers. Yeah, we saw him earlier. Denorfia, the home run hitter, lead off the first inning to tie the game at 1. That curveball makes it 1-2. And he has a lot of power straight away center field. His 3rd home run. I think all 3 have been in that direction.
Yeah, and you know what? He loves swinging, like you said, Dick, up the middle of the field, middle of the diamond.
And he's unable to find that pitch. A split finger. And there's 3 strikeouts for Homer Bailey. Make that, let's recount here. 4 of them. He had 1 in the first, 1 in the second, now 2 in the third.
Well, since those home runs in the first, both pitchers have really settled down, getting in their rhythm, and you can see the stuff by Homer Bailey. It is pretty filthy when he's down in the zone.
And Marista lined to center field his first time. Bailey now, since the double by Chase Headley with 1 out in the first inning, has retired 7 straight. One ball, 1 strike to Alexi. Been a lot of additions to the enjoyment of television, baseball television. I think the Fox track is one of them, one of the best. Fly ball to left. Heise squeezes the final out, and 8 in a row now retired by Homer Bailey. each pitcher has retired 8 in a row since the first inning as Richard works on Joey Votto. A strike. So we're going to watch Votto and how steady his head. And talk about golfers and how you keep that head on the same plane, and works in this sport too. Ground ball right at Logan Forsythe, and the second baseman throws out Votto. Now let's go back to last night. Votto's RBI. Look at, he's so intent. RBI double.
Well, you can see the location here, and he's going to do damage with this, but let's watch the head position from the side. Really does a movement. There's plenty of styles out there, but comparing it to Cameron Maybin, that head is very still. I believe that's the consistency part. When you gain consistency, you're really going to do some damage. Joey Votto is that guy that's the elite player. I think it's because of his head movement and watching it with both of his eyes.
Now, maybe Mark Loretta shared this information he did with us in the pregame show. But hang on to your baseball chair. Here's a statistic that is absolutely stunning about Votto. All year long, all season long, he has not popped out to the infield once. Not one time. Ground ball by Phillips to short. And Marista's arm plenty good to throw him out. And the other is he has not hit a foul ball into the stands down the right field line. He has not pulled a foul ball into the right field stands, and he's not popped up to an infielder all season.
Mark Loretta, have you seen anybody like that? I mean, that's an amazing stat to me.
That's freakish, isn't it? It just gives you an idea of his balance and his bat path that you talked about, Swain. He's always through the middle of the field.
But wouldn't you think one time you'd pop up or you'd hit the ball beyond the first base dugout?
You guys know Darren Balsley. I think his whole goal this series is either a pop-up or a pulled foul ball from Votto.
That's right. Yeah, let's see if we find out one tonight. Here's his last out, but look at that head right down buried into that shoulder.
Short, compact swing and through the baseball.
Alonso will flip it on to Richard, and fine pitching by Richard continues. 11 retired in a row. In the first inning, and it's time now for our AT&T trivia question. And here we go from Petco Park. What former Padre was traded along with Mark Sweeney to the Reds in 1999? Sweeney shipped off to the Queen City.
I think I have that answer.
Well, of course you do. We'll give the answer in the last half of the inning.
And I went with him. He didn't go with. That's what happened. He didn't go with me.
Bigger player than you? Headley,
I know that's shocking to you.
Headley takes a strike from Homer Bailey, who's retired 8 straight. Clayton Richard now 11 in a row. Each man gave up a home run and a base hit in the first inning, but nothing since. Headley doubled to center in the first. One ball, 2 strikes. to Headley, who has extended his hitting streak to 12 in a row. That matches the longest by a Padre this year, and 4 shy of his longest in his career. That was last year in May and June. Right back to Bailey. 9 in a row for Bailey and the Reds. Quinton struck out his first time. He's due.
He is due, and you know what? This guy really has an understanding of changing the game. That's one of his thoughts. And changing the game, meaning he's one swing away. He's not looking for that swinging bunt. He's looking for that ball that's out of the yard.
He rips it, but right at the shortstop, Cozart pulls off Votto, but Votto making the tag. 2 away. Both pitchers have that ground ball working for them.
Well, when you work down in the zone, you're going to get ground balls. Both of these pitchers really are doing a great job with that, getting ahead after those first inning home runs. They've really settled down and really located all of their pitches.
Yasmani Grandal takes it low, ball 1. He flied to left his first at bat. 7 games, now the 8th game of his major league career with 4 home runs. Good action on that fastball, 2-seamer. Curveball. Grandal wouldn't bite.
Take a fastball away here.
Ooh, a shattered bat, ground ball to short. Cozart across for the out, and Bailey fortunate that he wasn't hit with a barrel into the bat. That one came right back at him. 1-2-3 again, a fast-paced game. Padres baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino. Get away for the day at the all-new Sequan Casino, San Diego's destination for casino gaming and excitement. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealer. And welcome back to Petco Park. Beautiful Saturday night in downtown San Diego. Good turnout, well over 30,000 here at Petco Park to see the Padres and the Reds, a pitcher's duel since that one out in the first inning. The Reds had a home run from Stubbs and a single by Votto. Nothing since against Clayton Richard, 11 in a row. Padres in the first inning, a leadoff homer to Norfia, a double by Headley with 1 out. And Homer Bailey has matched Richard, 11 straight outs.
You know, I wanted to ask Mark Loretta down there near the dugout, just the pacing of Clayton Richard. We always talk about that. You as an infielder, how did you like that, and who, you know, really comes to mind that worked fast for you?
2-0 and 3-0.
Another left-hander that played here and also played with in Boston, David Wells, very similar to this. He would pound the strike zone, work very quickly, and of course he never walked a guy. Right on cue, it's 3-0 here. However, it keeps the infielders on their toes, and it never catches them off guard when the ball is hit to them.
A rare 3-0 count for Richard. He drops a strike in there. 89 on the fastball. But you can see on that fastball, a little movement, late movement. That's been the key to his success here the last 5 games. And another strike, 3-2.
Well, you got to pound the strike zone with your fastball and know where you want to locate it. Clayton Richard can break some bats with that late movement of his.
Fly ball right center. Racing over to cut it off is Denorfia. Good play by Denorfia. He gets the ball into second. Here's the play, and not in time. A good throw by Denorfia, but Frazier sprints to second and beats the tag.
Well, nice job by Todd Frazier. Good job on the other end with Chris Denorfia. Plants and throws, and I think a little surprised that he went. And the ball actually came up. Alexi Amarista comes up with his glove a little bit. He slides underneath the tag. Good call at second base. But nice throw by Chris Denorfia. I think it surprised him a little bit that Todd Frazier took second base.
The ball was a little bit on the shortstop side, so Amarista had to swing with the tag. Too late. It was a good call. A double for Frazier. Here's Chris Heisey, lined to left his first time.
That's a good point swing, because that's just a good all-around baseball play. Ball hitting the gap, Denorfia goes over, does everything he can to cut it off, makes a good throw, and just a good hustle double.
And a line drive back through the middle. That won't score the run because he had to hold Frazier. He didn't know if that line drive would be caught. And Heisey, line out, line single. Oh, he plays well against the Padres.
Well, you said it the other night, Dick. This guy is very impressive. He plays great defense. When he gets an opportunity, it's almost like a Chris Denorfia type player for the Cincinnati Reds. But he has some power to go along with that. Not that Chris Denorfia doesn't, but he's more of a power guy in that utility role. But he gives you max effort every night. And
an outstanding outfielder, as is the case with Denorfia. So first and third, no one out on a double and a single. 8th man in the order, Mesoraco, the catcher. He flew to deep left center field. Maybe made the catch out on the warning track. Ground ball through the right side. No, glove by Forsythe. The run would score. It's 2-1 Cincinnati, as Forsythe able to close the gap on the right side. Mesoraco's 14th RBI as Frazier scores.
Well, just a nice job of situational hitting for Mesoraco, coming in to hitting .290 against left-handed pitchers. That's the reason why he's in there, but you've got to do the little things. If you're getting a spot start, that's what you have to do. Nice job by Logan Forsythe gobbling that up and getting the out at first.
That brings up the pitcher, Homer Bailey, with a runner at second. Line to right. Denorfia, late break. It's over his head. Here comes Heisey around third to score. It's 3-1 as Bailey, his first extra base hit of the season, had 4 singles, doubles over Denorfia's head.
We've seen some real good hitting here at Petco Park from the pitching side. Homer Bailey actually drove this baseball, surprised Chris Denorfia, but put the barrel on it, and it is flying tonight. It just seems like it's taking off, but when you play in against the pitcher on the right side, it surprised Chris Denorfia on that play. Homer Bailey, nice swing.
Fifth hit of the year. The previous 4 were singles. He's now got 4 RBIs on the season, so he's been productive with the bat as well. Winds up at second base with still only 1 out, 2 runs in. Cozart has fly to right and grounded to second, so he's gone to the opposite field both at bats. One and one. Well, the Reds came to Petco for this 4-game series after scoring only 1 run in each of the 3 games against the Dodgers, and then scored the last two, excuse me, against the Dodgers. A line drive. Amaristo has it. The throw to second, not in time. Forsythe too far from the bag to get there to double up the pitcher. So last two in Los Angeles, 1 run, and then the first game here, 1 run. And then they get 6 last night, 3 home runs, and now a 3-1 lead tonight here in the 5th.
I wanted to ask you, Mark Loretta, coming in here even as a visiting player, we always talk about how difficult it is to hit here as a home player. How about hitting here as a visitor?
Well, I think the difference between being a visitor and a home player is that you know the park's big, but you also know that you're probably going to get out of here in 3 or 4 days. So you're not worried about your power numbers. You're worried about just hitting line drives. And you can see these guys second time through the lineup really being aggressive early on Clayton's fastball. So look for him to make an adjustment, maybe some more sliders early in count, maybe some changeups.
Votto on deck with 2 out, and Stubbs a home run and a hard ground ball to short. And another one right at Amarista. Throw across. Stubbs can run, and the inning is over. But the Reds get 2 runs on 3 hits and lead it 3-1. RBI double to raise the Reds lead to 3-1 as we take a look at our AT&T trivia question answer for tonight. Mark Sweeney traded to the Reds in 1999 with what other player? Reggie Sanders, Damian Jackson, and Josh Harris came to San Diego, and Greg Vaughn went to the Red Legs.
50 home runs, 1998, then got traded. I was actually shocked. I was shocked I got traded with him, but 50 home runs and leaving San Diego, that was a big disappointment for this fan base, because in 1998 he carried us for a long time. Outstanding player.
Dare I ask who the general manager was at the time?
Well, let's see. It had to be Kevin Towers. Kevin Towers was our GM, and Boch was here.
Yeah, Boch was the manager. Yeah. So Bailey and the Reds now lead at 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Yonder Alonso's the batter, fouls it away. Alonso struck out his first time. Bailey not only driving in a run with a double, but he has run a string of outs here, 11 in a row against Padre hitters. 1-1. Changeup. Inside, a fastball. Well, the Reds occupying the third base dugout, they can't help but see the scoreboard. It's right in their line of sight, and they know that Pittsburgh has won tonight. They beat the Giants 3-1. At the beginning of play tonight, the Reds trailed the Pirates by 1 in the National League Central.
Such a huge story. You know, Pittsburgh, great story. They did it last year. Went out, got some players, and really fell in the second half.
Way out in front of a slider is Alonso. Here's the look at the NL Central. Pittsburgh now up a game and a half on Cincinnati, 2.5 St. Louis. Milwaukee is still very much a part of the story. Struck him out again. Well, Mark Loretta's keys. Let's check on how the game has progressed.
Well, that was a good example there with Yonder fouling off that first pitch fastball. Looked like a pretty good pitch to hit, and then getting behind in the count. And that was when Bailey could expose him with the weapons of the slider and the split finger. For me, Bailey's biggest pitch tonight has been that split finger late in the count. He's gotten some strikeouts and some weak contact off it.
Here's Maven with one out, grounded to short. 94 and just missed.
Yeah, Dick, it's one of those cases, and Mark can touch on this too. When you go back and you evaluate your at bat, that first pitch you really have to square up. It's the fastball.
That ball sharply struck into right field for a base hit. Maven aboard, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Only the 3rd hit for the Padres, and their first since Headley's double with one out in the 1st inning.
Well, let's take a look at the head for Cameron Maven, because this is the big key. Getting his foot down and really controlling his head movement. That was an outstanding job. Also driving the ball the other way. That means he's getting the ball back in his stance and he's gaining consistency. I love the way he's adjusted with his head movement. A lot less head movement, gaining consistency.
That breaks the string of 12 straight outs and brings up Logan Forsythe. Takes a strike. Forsythe, soft broken bat line drive to short his first time. Late swing and the count 2 strikes on the Padre second baseman with Clayton Richard on deck.
Yeah, Homer just got away with him there, guys. That was a hanging breaking ball that Logan, you could see on his face. He wished he had that back.
Maven with 16 steals. Other NL West action. The Dodgers in the 4th lead at Arizona 2-0. Pittsburgh over the Giants 3-1. And Colorado lost at Washington 4-1. Throws it away. Maven to second. Votto chases down the ball, and Maven will hold there. That'll be an error on Bailey.
Well, quick feet by Homer Bailey, but he wanted to be real quick because it's Cameron Maven over there. When you have a base stealer, you try to go with your A move. He goes over there, really throws a bad throw over there, makes it a real tough play for Joey Votto to go across and pick it. Nice job by Cameron Maven putting pressure on him. That is the big thing. They have to put pressure on the base pass to win games.
The Reds are the best fielding team in the National League. This is the 84th game of the season. That's only their 42nd error. But it puts Maven in scoring position for Forsythe with the count 1-2. That slider outside, 2-2. After the Reds took the lead with 2 runs in the top half of this 5th inning, that's a big run out there for the Padres to take a bite out of the lead, a 3-1 lead.
Answering back, that's the big thing. Offensively, you have to answer back.
Line drive, base hit, left field. Heisey charges. Here comes Maven. There's going to be a play at the plate. A good throw. Not in time. And on to second goes Forsythe. It's 3-2.
Outstanding effort by Cameron Maben, because this ball is hit real hard off Logan Forsythe's bat. And Glenn Hoffman, happy birthday, winding him up and really showing this. Let's watch the swing. Logan Forsythe drives this ball. This is tailor-made for a left fielder. Chris Heisey drives it. I love watching Cameron Maben run, because those long strides give an opportunity for Glenn Hoffman to wind it up on his birthday. He's feeling good scoring that run.
The ball was to Heisey before Maben hit third base, so that really is using all that speed for him to score.
Great point, Dick.
The throw wasn't that bad, a two-hopper, but it was on the plate. Good hustle by Maben to make it 3-2, and Forsythe alertly takes second base on the throw. So the tying run in position for Clayton Richard. Well, Bailey got a RBI double. And this one's not going to make it through the infield as Phillips closes the gap. 2 away.
Hey, you guys are right. Let's give Hoffy some props there. It would have been very easy to hold him right there with 1 out, but he pressed the issue knowing that runs are a premium here, and it paid off for the Padres. Great job there by Glenn.
And you know what? You got to be aggressive here, because they've proven it offensively. They've struggled at times. You have to push the envelope. You have to be aggressive. That's Buddy Black's style. That's the coaching staff style. It really goes to the players, and it really shows.
So on that ground out by Richard, Forsythe taking third. So the tying run 90 feet away for Denorfia, who homered over the center field fence in the first inning. His third homer of the year. Ooh, in the dirt, and a good block by young Mesoraco, the catcher. And Forsythe is a very alert base runner, as we've seen throughout this season. If that ball gets any distance from the catcher, he's coming home.
It's a tough ballpark. You got to really have a good read from third base because of that short backstop area.
Takes ball 2. Alex Amarista on deck. Slider.
It looks like Homer Bailey really is going to his secondary stuff. He's already established his fastball. He goes to his secondary stuff with runners in scoring position. The Padres need to make that adjustment.
2-1, and a strike to Denorfia, a cutter.
And people say, what's the difference between a slider and a cutter? Cutter really has that late break. It's almost a cross. Slider really sweeps a little bit. He has 2 mixtures of both pitches.
Over but low, says plate umpire Winters, but our Fox track said that looked pretty good.
I think we had a little flinch by Mike Winters, the crew chief back there. San Diego native.
Caught his right hand on the ball bag. He couldn't quite get it up, to the good fortune of Denorfia. Full count. We're waving the towels. Out of play. Fastball.
Well, Mesoraco wants to go out there, have a chat with Homer Bailey, because Chris Denorfia powered that fastball. They want to be on the same page with location and also what type of pitch they would like to throw.
Full count, Denorfia. Forsythe at third, the tying run. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Curveball. And down go the Padres and Denorfia in the 5th, but they get a run on singles by Maben and Forsythe. After 5, Cincinnati 3, the Padres 2. celebrating a birthday on this date as we go to the top of the 6th inning, and Joey Votto leads it off. Ground ball to the right side. He's not going to be happy with that one either. He was upset the last time he grounded to Forsythe. And we've got a big summer sky blast scheduled on Saturday, July 21st, coming up in 2 weeks. Padres and the Rockies, 5:35. And the Padres say they're going to light up the downtown sky with the biggest fireworks show in Petco Park history. Get your tickets, Padres.com. 2 weeks from tonight, Saturday, July 21st.
I know July 4th didn't go very well, but the Padres have to be excited for this. This is an opportunity to have a great show. It's going to be awesome.
Lots of great action ahead, and of course, the earlier you order your tickets, the better chance of saving money. A reward for those that want to look out in advance, see a team or a particular date.
I had so many of my friends call me up and say, hey, what happened to the fireworks? Like I had something to do with it.
Hey, if you're on television, you're playing for just about everything. That's the way it goes. It's in the contract.
I think we were in Arizona, weren't we? Flying back.
1 ball at 1 strike to Brandon Phillips, who struck out and grounded out. A 3-2 game here in the top of the 6th. Fast paced because of the rhythms of the pitchers. Clayton Richard and Homer Bailey. They get it and throw it. Three runs, 5 hits, and an error for Cincinnati, and the error cost a run. Bailey's throwing error. It's an unearned run scored by the Padres in the last of the 5th. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for San Diego, and the count goes 3-1 on Phillips with 1 out. It's a pretty tough double at any position in baseball to win both the Gold Glove and Silver Slugger award in the same year. This man did it a couple seasons ago. 1 hopper, Forsythe on the edge of the grass. Another 4-3 put out.
Well, Dick, talking to Darren Balsley, my worry was Clayton Richard really loved working with Nick Hundley. They had a good repertoire going together, and I asked him that. I said, do you have any concerns with Grandal, or does Clayton Richard have that? He said, you know what, I like it because he really doesn't like shaking off his catcher, and Grandal really gives him an opportunity to really think what he's throwing.
First pitch strike. Jay Bruce. It was flied out and grounded out. 2 more groundouts by Richard here in the 6th inning. That's 10 in the game. And Clayton, 48% of his outs are on groundouts. That's the 6th best percentage in the National League. And he's 3rd in the majors in just ground balls, inducing ground balls, whether they're to an infielder or through to right field. So 3 ground ball outs, all at Forsythe. Ties a record. 3 straight 4-3s in the 6th.
of the 6th. And before the game, not only do we have Charlie Sheen, but we also had the U.S. Olympic archery team. And you talk about accuracy from 60 feet 6 inches, try from over 230 feet away. This is Miranda Leake. She's one of 3 women competing for Team USA in the Olympics in archery. And you had a demonstration before the game, Miranda. What were people able to see there? Because it is similar to what we see in the Olympics.
Yeah, we were shooting 70 meters, which is what you'll be seeing at the games. The one-on-one elimination matches will look very similar to that, in that we'll be shooting 1 arrow at a time and it'll be alternating, so it's more spectator-friendly.
Opening ceremonies just 9 days away. I understand archery gets started even before the opening ceremonies. What is your emotional level right now?
Well, we fly to London in 9 days. The opening ceremonies aren't until the 27th, but it's going to be fantastic to kind of get the qualification round out of the way and then go and have fun at opening ceremonies and just take it all in. I'm very excited.
I know this is your first Olympics. You said you were excited. And what is the team preparing for? And I understand a very tough team competing against in South Korea.
For sure. Our men are ranked #1 right now, so we're looking forward to having a solid performance from them. And we're definitely a force to be reckoned with ourselves. And so we're just going to go out there and give it our best and have some fun doing it. So.
And apparently it's a short trip for you to the Padres game because the training center is in Chula Vista. So what's it like getting this in before the game?
This was a great kind of prereq to the Olympic Games. Having the crowd here and shooting in front of them is definitely started to get the mentality of shooting in front of a crowd. So,
well, we wish you and Team USA good luck. Miranda, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So there's one to cheer for, Dick Enberg and Mark Sweeney. Talk about that accuracy. Back to you.
Yeah, they had the targets out and almost straightaway center field and shot from the batter's box area, and you saw the accuracy, a couple of bullseyes. U.S. archery team, and there were other Olympians also introduced tonight. You just saw Amarista fly to left, first out here in the 6th. Headley doubled and tapped back to the mound. 3-2. The Reds lead it. You know, training so many of the elite athletes right here in Chula Vista at the Olympic Center. The women's field hockey team also introduced tonight. They beat the #1 ranked team in the world, Argentina, in the Pan Am Games during a trip to the Olympics. The BMX bike racing team was here. Team U.S. rowing quadruple sculls. They train out the rowers out on Otay Lake Reservoir. Paralympians in track and field, wheelchair tennis were also here. And members of the USA track and field, Kara Patterson, a javelin thrower, hammer thrower Jessica Cosby, 10,000 meter runner Amy Hastings. So good luck to all those Olympians. High fly ball right field, hit well by Headley, going back to right fielder, and he dropped the ball. Bruce dropped the ball, and Headley into second base, the tying run. He played it, did Jay Bruce, rather casually. Just kind of drifted with it, made the little over-the-shoulder effort, and couldn't squeeze it.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do as an outfielder is drift to the baseball. It looked like Jay Bruce had a good beat on it and looked like he didn't get his body in good position to really catch that baseball. You saw Chase Headley saying he's seen it before. Balls die out there. He should have caught that baseball. Jay Bruce really just drifted on the baseball, put his body in bad position.
So a two-base error by Bruce, the right fielder, gives the Padres a chance. They got an unearned run in the last inning on the throwing error by pitcher Bailey that sent Maben to second, where he scored on Forsythe single. And here's Carlos Quinton. Here's a good time for Quinton to tag one. Tying run at second. And he goes around. Strike one.
We saw Carlos do a couple check swings last night in the ball game. That's really just getting away from your plan, or really not recognizing the ball out of the pitcher's hand.
Quinton looking back at plate umpire Winters as if to say, was that a strike anyway? Looked pretty good right on the corner. Way high. That curveball didn't break. No chance for the Padres to draw even here. 3-2, bottom of the 6th. Yasmani Grandal will hit next. Line drive left field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Heisey in. to make it. Here comes the throw, and the play at the plate not in time. Headley scores. It's tied at 3. Quinton delivers an RBI.
Well, maybe that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Carlos Quinton, getting that big hit, big situation. And again, Glenn Hoffman cranking his arm on Chase Headley because Chase Headley had a good break. Nice job on taking that breaking ball the other way, getting the ball off the end of the bat, extending it, but hitting that ball to the big part of the field. That's an RBI producer. And nice job by Glenn Hoffman again, wheeling Chase Headley in for the game-tying score.
Unlike the play where Maben wasn't quite to third when Heisey had the ball, Headley got such a good break, he read it off the bat as a base hit. Good stop there by young Mesoranko. And Headley able to sprint in with a tying run. So the 2 errors in the last 2 innings by the best fielding team in the National League have cost them, and the Padres draw even.
Well, Dick, winning baseball is doing what you're supposed to do, but also getting some breaks and capitalizing on those breaks.
Grandal with Quinton at first, 1 out. Yasmani is fly to left and grounded to short, so he's gone the opposite way for the 2 putouts. Low again. Split finger. Jay Bruce out in right field, ready to take a bite out of his glove after dropping that ball that became a 2-base error. And Headley coming around on Quinton sink. Nice cut. Little late on pulling the trigger on that 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
So much to be excited about by Yasmani Grandal. I love his short swing. Let's take a look at this. The path of the bat is such a short swing, trying to fight to get his top hand on top of that baseball. But I love what you said, Dick. He takes a hack at this in his aggressive approach.
High pop-up. Cozart, the shortstop, drifting out on the grass. 2 away. Well, I'm not sure that the fans realize in waving the towels, trying to rally the Padres, that it could serve as a distraction to the hitter.
Well, that's where the good part is, the batter's eye. So there's no towels out there.
Okay, yeah, keep the towels off the batter's eye. Stir in the crowd behind Grandal. So it's up to Alonso, who has struck out both at bats tonight. Where's his RBI total on his back? 23. Would like to change that right here. And a fastball strike. Foul tip, strike 2. Fastball for a strike, then a curveball, and Alonso quickly down on the count, 2 strikes. Quinton with a safe lead over at first.
He's going to the breaking ball.
Slider. That was a home run swing, fouled off.
Yeah, that got
umpire.
Mike Winters.
Ears are ringing.
Well, you can see this. He tries to get on top of that fastball in on his hands. Ricochet. That picks up speed off the bat. Doesn't slow it down.
Paul Navarro, the assistant trainer under Todd Hutchison, out to make sure that Mr. Winters is okay. You want to be an umpire?
Oof.
Not only the force of the fastball, but then the spin put on by the foul tip.
And bells are ringing. Mike Winters from San Diego here, like I mentioned earlier, going back to his own bed. He is not feeling good with his right ear.
2 balls, 2 strikes down to Alonso with 2 outs. Padres tying it here in the 6th on the 2-base error by right fielder Jay Bruce, who dropped Headley's fly ball at the edge of the track, and then Quinton with the RBI single. Alonso alive at 2-2. Well, you can enjoy a Padres game in style with a Padres suite. Suites customized to fit your group's need and include flexible seating options, great food, beverage packages, much more. Visit Padres.com/suites and order yours today. Strike 3 again. Alonso punched out 3 straight times. Padres get an unearned run. It's tied.
The Padres and the Reds. Mark Loretta, Mike Pomeranz with you, but it looks like the Padres able to get away with a few, taking advantage of some errors, Mark.
Well, the Reds have been the best defensive team in the National League, but tonight they've showed some fallibility tonight with a couple of errors, and we capitalized them so far.
Had one error in the 5th led to a run, and one in the 6th led to this run, and the RBI single after the drop by Jay Bruce in the 6th. So there we are, knotted at 3 as we go into the top of the 7th. Coming up in the post-game show, Mark and I are going to talk a little bit about that. Also, more on that Dick Enberg interview with Marty Brennaman. That's fantastic, and we'll see you in just a couple of moments, guys.
Thank you, Mike. And a long drive, but foul deep down in the left field corner by Todd Frazier, who has been very impressive in this series. He had a single and 4 at-bats in the opening game last night, a single, a walk and scored, and a 2-run homer. And he has an RBI double, or a double, and scored a run in the 5th inning tonight. A couple of rookies for the Reds bolstering their offensive attack.
Really was the catalyst for that 5th inning.
He and Cozart both 26. And so they've spent their time in the minor leagues, have progressed through, and now wearing that big league uniform. We start the 7th inning, a new ball game, tied at 3. Efficient night for 6 innings of work, 75 pitches for Clayton. Two and 2. Clayton had 1-3-0 count, but he's not walked a man. And Bailey has not walked a man either.
That's the baseball you want to watch. Throwing strikes, working quickly, and capitalizing on mistakes. That's the keys to this game.
Jose Arredondo begins to throw in the Cincinnati bullpen, a right-hander. Lined into left field for a base hit, and Frazier has another knock. Leadoff single.
Well, these young guys continue to do the damage, like you said, Dick, and they have to be excited if you're a Cincinnati Reds fan, because these guys really understand how to take that approach, have a solid plan, and taking this pitch right here out on the outside corner and really hooking it into left field.
Chris Heisey, a single and a line out. Right here, plate umpire Mike Winters saying a little high. Infield set for 2. Heisey, a good base runner. That one clipped, fouled, and out of play. So the finale of this 4-game series tomorrow at 1. Join us at noon for Padres Live. Jason Marquis volunteering. Hey, I can go on 3 days rest, the sinker baller. And he'll be opposed by the man at the top of the rotation for Dusty Baker, Johnny Cueto, 9-5 with an ERA of 2.35.
Dominating pitcher. Really, a lot of people think he should be in the All-Star game.
Another foul, and the count remains 1-2. He was only a step off the bag, and still they almost got him. That's how good the move of Clayton Richard is. He was leaning. Oh boy, I think he might have gotten him.
He did. Look like Keanu Reeves right there in Matrix.
Drive to deep left center field. Will the ballpark hold this one? Maben back. A home run for Heisey. It's 5-3 Cincinnati as Heisey hits his 3rd of the year. How do you keep that guy on the bench?
Well, a 1-2 pitch, and it looked like a mistake. Elevated. Got up in the zone, got too much of the plate. Chris Heisey really has a lot of power. Really difficult to keep him out of the lineup when he's swinging like that. Man, that had sound.
5 home runs in 2 games for the Reds here at Petco.
And you really go back to the point Mark Loretta said. Coming in here as a visitor, you really don't think of that. You really just want to take your approach, not worry about anything.
Ground ball right by Richard into center field for the catcher Mesoraco. He joins the hit parade. Still no one out in the 7th. Long walk for Bud Black. 6 solid innings for Clayton Richard, but it comes apart here in the 7th. A single by Frazier, the home run to center by Heisey, and now a single Mesoraco. And Bud's going to go to the bullpen. So with a score 5-3 Cincinnati, no one out, and Mesoraco at first base will take a break. Dale Thayer coming in from the pen. Depot doing more on defense, and that applies to you fans as well. You got to keep your eye on the ball. Ouch. That's last night. He didn't see it coming. He's stinging today. You can bet that. He's got himself a nice souvenir bruise on that shoulder. And tonight, bring your glove. Oh, at least you broke the momentum of the foul ball, and then it becomes a scramble. But doing more on defense. Better practice, some of you fans.
You know what, Dick? That first guy that took it off the chest, I bet you he has a Bud Selig print right on his chest.
Right. Fouled out of play as Bailey, who has an RBI double and a strikeout tonight, trying to move the runner up. Nice turnout at Petco on the Saturday night, 34,222.
Nothing better than having an atmosphere at the ballpark, playing in front of fans. It's all about the fans, and it gives energy to the players.
Good bunt. Alonso thought about going to second, but it was a little late getting there, and Bailey does his job. 1-4 on the put out, and with one out, Mesoraco at second base for leadoff hitter Zach Cozart.
Well, it's all about helping yourself. He helped himself with that double in the 5th inning, but that's what you have to do as a starting pitcher. You got to know how to handle the bat and laying down the bunt when you have to.
Thayer trying to close the door on a 2-run 7th inning and keep the Reds right where they are, a 2-run lead. Line to left field. That's going to be a potential run, but Quentin gets it in, and having to hold at second base to make sure that ball wasn't caught. Mesoraco advances only to third, so first and third with one out. And a reminder that Tuesday, don't miss the biggest event of the summer, the Baseball All-Star Game, featuring the All-Stars from the American and National League, and you'll see it all on Fox at 4:30 here in San Diego and on the West Coast. And the winner, of course, on to the World Series as the home field advantage. That's Tuesday night, the All-Star Game on Fox.
You know, Dick, Mark Loretta said tonight the best thing, and he was in an All-Star game. I'd never made it to an All-Star game, but the best thing is the introductions. You talked about the Olympics. It's an amazing feeling just to see him walk around and being introduced, seeing all the nations walking in. I'm excited for the Olympics. I'm excited for the All-Star game.
Yeah, as a young kid, you see all the, as Mark Loretta said, all the different uniforms, and you look for the one that you're cheering for. And the nice thing is that the very best players in the game, they're all kids too.
We're all kids, and that's the best part of putting a uniform on. You can continue to be a kid, and it even travels into the locker room, and you can be more of a kid if you get a W. Put on the music in the locker room and celebrate a win in the big leagues.
That's got to be part of the thrill too, when you walk into that clubhouse and you look around and see all the best players in your entire league, and you're one of them.
Very intimidating, I'm sure.
Drew Stubbs with first and third. The infield's going to draw in to try to cut off another run. Dale Thayer has come in relief of Clayton Richard. One out, runners at the corners for the Reds. Stubbs has hit the ball hard 3 times, a home run in the first, and then 2 sharp ground balls to short. (5-3). The visitors lead here in the 7th. Bends that one in for a strike, a slider.
Well, you can see the infielders, they're not all the way on the grass because of the speed of Mesoraco at third base. You can actually get some more fielding depth and still be able to have a play at the plate if it's hit hard towards you.
2 balls and a strike. Thayer appearing in his 27th game as a Padre.
24 in the third innings, 26 hits. Three balls and a strike.
Well, as you can see from the Fox tracks, he's really trying to work down in the zone, try to induce that double play. And those middle infielders can have a choice whether to come home or try to turn the double play.
Ground ball to the hole. There's one at second. Back to first base and not in time. And another run scores. Mesoraco comes in from third as the Padres elect to go for the double play. But Drew Stubbs is one of the fastest runners in all of baseball, and he beats out the relay throw, even though it was well executed from Forsythe.
Well, real tough to double up Drew Stubbs, but Amarista, because of the ball taking him deep in the hole, has to take that chance on turning the double play, because it really didn't take him towards home plate, couldn't really cut the run down to home.
Stubbs, you best watch him. He leads the Reds in steals with 16. A couple of RBIs now for Drew Stubbs after snapping out of that 0 for 32 drought last night. And Votto seems to be up every inning.
Well, you look down, Drew Stubbs, hardest to double play at bats per ground in the double play, 243, fourth in the league.
Good effort by Amarista and Forsythe trying to turn two. Votto takes a strike, 2-1.
You know, those are one of those things. You know, Dale Thayer did a nice job trying to induce that ground ball. Got him to do that. The guys really just didn't have enough time with Drew Stubbs going down the baseline.
The run goes on Clayton Richards' card, so all 6 runs charged to the Padres starter. Inside edge. Good pitch from Thayer. Fastball moving. So after 5 outstanding outings from Clayton Richard, look at that two-seamer come back and catch the corner. Votto a single and 2 outs. There goes Stubbs, and the throw's into center field, and Stubbs keeps right on going to third. Steal number 17, and charge Grandal with the error. First error for the Padres tonight. The Reds have committed 2.
Well, Drew Stubbs gets an outstanding jump from first base, and one of these plays that you really want to keep in your pocket if you're Yasmani Grandal. And he'll learn these things. Just trying to do too much. Then Alexi Amarista takes a shot to the head. Those are some of the things that Yasmani's going to learn in this game. You're going to be able to see it. You're going to have that internal clock and understand he stole that base on Dale Thayer.
So 2 outs, the runner at third. 3 runs in, and Votto, who is selective, walks more than anyone. 63 times now he's walked. His on base percentage is about 470 on base. Almost 1 out of every 2 times he comes to bat, he reaches first base.
Well, he just has that solid approach. You know, you go back to what you said, hasn't popped up in the infield, hasn't hooked the ball in the stands. It's just impressive because he has a solid approach, understanding what he wants to attack on every at bat, doesn't give away at bats.
Brandon Phillips is the hitter. So first and third, 3 runs are home here in the 7th, and the Reds now break open a 3-all tie with a 6-3 advantage. They are trying to get out of the inning. Ground ball to short. Long throw across for Amarista is in time. 3 runs on 4 hits, including a home run.
Padres baseball, brought to you by Petco, where the healthy pets go. And welcome back to Petco Park. They've sung the baseball anthem, Take Me Out to the Ballpark. 34,222 out at the old Bowl Yard tonight. And disappointed are the Padre fans as the Reds score 3 times top half of the 7th inning. To make it a 6-3 game, it'll be Maben, Forsythe, and the pitcher's spot in the last of the 7th. Padres have been playing catch up all night. Home run in the first inning by Stubbs. Denorfia answered with a home run. 2-run 5th inning for Cincinnati. Padres got 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, both unearned to tie it. And then the Reds come back with 3 in the top half of this 7th inning. Maben is grounded to short and singled sharply to right field. First pitch, slider, strike. Swing and a miss. And another slider. That was the 100th pitch from Homer Bailey, as he seeks his 7th win of the season. He was a high school phenom in LaGrange, Texas. In high school, he was 41-4, 0.98 ERA. Line down the left field line, hooking, foul. Down in that blind spot in the corner of Petco. Number 1 pick by the Reds 8 years ago, Homer Bailey. He was the 7th selected overall. He just got great size, 6'3", 225. He's only 26. The rotation for the Reds, 2 24-year-olds, 2 26. And then the guy we saw last night, the veteran 35-year-old Bronson Arroyo.
Well, they love this young man. They said today, if it really started with the playoffs, he'd be in there. That's high praise.
In the glove of Mesoraco, and Maben is out on strikes. That is the 8th strikeout for Homer Bailey. Time now for the Sequan Casino Daycation highlight of the game. Another strikeout by Bailey. He's got an easy 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
And he's got all kinds of stuff to complement that. He's done a nice job throwing the curveball, the slider, and also split finger, like Mark Loretta said earlier.
Logan Forsythe, swing and a miss. Fastball up in the letters. Forsythe, a soft liner to short, and an RBI single tonight.
This young man continues to impress me. The way he's handled the game, he slows the game down and gives you solid at bats.
Slider there. 0-2. So the Reds starting pitching continues to be outstanding. This is the 10th consecutive quality start from Dusty Baker's rotation. 6 innings or more, 3 runs or less, deeming a quality start. And this is the longest stretch for a Cincinnati pitching staff since June 1994. Matt Latos getting it started, even though he didn't get a decision on Thursday night in that 2-1 Padre win, but he didn't give up a run. And last night, Bronson Arroyo, a shutout. So the 2 starters in the first 2 games didn't give up a run, and Homer Bailey has given up only 1 earned run tonight.
Well, if you talk to Bud Black, he always says to have consistency winning ball games, you have to, it starts with the starting rotation. They've done an outstanding job.
Meanwhile, Bailey's having his best strikeout game of the season with 8. Only 2 less than his career best. He has just struck out Maben, and he's 2 strikes on Logan Forsythe. Little fly ball into right field. It's going to duck snort its way out to right fielder Jay Bruce. Forsythe will take it. This punches a little wedge shot single to right. First Padre with 2 hits.
Well, with 2 strikes, you have to battle, and Logan Forsythe does that. Gets his foot down and really has to work his hands through the baseball because he got fooled a little bit. Serves that out to right field. He continues to impress and not give at bats away. That is the key.
Will Venable will pinch hit for Dale Thayer. And then we'll go to the top of the order and Chris Denorfia.
First pitch over but low. Thayer goes an inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, and no strikeouts.
Jose Arredondo is ready in the bullpen. He got up last inning, continues this inning.
Chopper to second. Phillips to short. Cozart for 1. Back to first, not nearly in time. Venable speed eliminates the double play. He's safe on the fielder's choice. Well, we gave you the poll question, which is the toughest or perhaps the most inappropriate name for a baseball pitcher, and we gave you 4 choices, Homer Bailey being one of them. And so far you folks think that that is the name you'd least want if you're a baseball pitcher. Ball 4 or Balfour 18%, walk 26%, and the plunk is worth as much as ball 4.
Well, I think the fans like the plunk. I mean, no, it's like watching a car race. They're watching for the wreck. They want a guy getting hit.
Chris Denorfia got the big hit to start the Padre first inning. He led off with a home run to center. I always like to see that. Fans that come and they're serious enough about keeping score in a game. One and one. Slider, and Denorfia checked his swing in time. 2 outs in the 7th. Padres need 3 to tie.
Going over here.
112 pitches for Bailey.
Saw the thumb up by the catcher. Going over to first base. That's just a sign.
Two and one, and just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Life. Denorfia leading off the first inning. Drills one out beyond the sandbox. Home run number 3, and at the time it tied the game at 1. Out goes to 2-2. Fastball from Bailey. 91.
Up the middle, base hit. Denorfia moving to second is Venable, so the tying run comes to the plate here in the home half of the 7th inning as Amarista will step up.
Well, just a simple approach by Chris Denorfia, just driving the ball up the middle. We saw the other day when he had 3 hits in the ball game, he used all fields. Drives that ball up the middle. Nice job by Chris Denorfia, keeping it going, giving the Padres an opportunity to come back. They've proven to themselves that they can come back.
So Dusty Baker takes the ball with 2 outs and 2 on here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Jose Arredondo comes in from the bullpen. We'll take a break in the action from Petco. 6-3 Cincinnati. Forsythe and Denorfia in the inning. Venable at second base with the fielder's choice. And the tying run, Amarista steps up as Arredondo. There's his numbers of 172 batting average again. So tough man to hit, and his first pitch in there for a strike. Split finger. Amarista's lined out and flied out twice.
This young man sits with his fastball 90 to 93. Also throws a split, mainly a fastball split guy. Does have a slider to go along with that.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Homer Bailey goes 6 2/3 so far, giving up just 1 earned run, 3 overall, 7 hits, didn't walk a man. The 3 starters for the Reds in the series total have given up only 3 walks. Way out in front, split finger, and Arredondo has Amarista in the hole. 0-2, 1-2.
Well, Homer Bailey took an approach against Alexi Amarista, throwing hard fastballs in, sped him up a little bit, makes it a very difficult adjustment to make on the split finger as well.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Venable at second, Denorfia at first. 6-3 the score as Homer Bailey, his night is through. A solid effort from the right-hander. In the dirt, another split finger. So the count full on Amarista with Chase Headley on deck. Runners will be off with the pitch. Foul tip. Just got a nick to stay alive.
Well, just fighting it off. That's what you got to do. It's an all split finger at bat for Alexi Amarista.
No Venable back to second. Denorfia to first. They wind it up and will take off again. Amarista trying to keep this inning alive. Ground ball right side, 2. Around comes Venable to score. It's 6-4. On to third, Denorfia. Amarista delivers.
Well, the little ninja keeps impressing, but he has to battle split fingers. That's the first pitch he saw with a split. Then he misses up top. Then he gets out of the strike zone, has to slow down, takes that split finger for a ball. He has a better look at him. Now he starts slowing it down, takes a good hack at that. A mistake elevated. Alexi Amarista continues his hot streak, getting big hits for the San Diego Padres.
Well, he has 18 RBIs already.
Talking about opening some eyes.
And he's the energizer for the entire team, and I think especially the other infielders. His personality. Here's Headley. Strike 1. That was a fastball at 91. Headley has doubled to center. Bounced to the mound. Hit a deep drive to right that Jay Bruce, fading toward the auxiliary scoreboard, dropped for a 2-base error, and then Headley scored on a single by Quinton. Strike 2. That's the splitter. Now Headley in the hole, 2 strikes. Tying run at first, carried by Amarista. Denorfia at third.
Now, this is the part of the game, Dusty Baker. You know that toothpick he has in there? He wears it out or spits it out of his mouth.
Got it tucked over his right ear now. Or maybe that's a spare. Two strikes on Headley, 2 men on. The Padres need 2 to tie. Fastball well out of the zone.
Well, to set up that split finger, you have to throw that fastball up and not miss in the strike zone.
Arredondo, the 28-year-old from the Dominican. The Reds bullpen let Dusty down in game 1, but they've been one of the best in the National League all season. Strikeout as he blows down Headley with a splitter. The Padres get a run on 3 hits. It's now 6-4. Inning, Drew Stubbs rocketed one just to the top of the auxiliary scoreboard for a 1-0 lead, and Chris Denorfia answered in the Padre first with a home run to right center to tie it at 1. Then Homer Bailey, the pitcher, lined a double over Denorfia's head to drive in a run, a 2-run fifth. Logan Forsythe singled in 1 for the Padres. They make it 3-2. Maven scrambling in to score. Then Carlos Quinton tied it up with a base hit to left field. Headley scoring. Heisey, Chris Heisey, 2-run shot in the 7th off. Clayton Richard made it 5-3, and they'd add 1 more. Mesoraca's single sacrifice, single by Cozart, and a ground out by Stubbs for a 6-3 lead, and the Padres just scored 1 to make it 6-4. There are the totals as we go to the 8th inning, and Alex Henshaw in from the bullpen, the left-hander. Top of the order, Cozart, Stubbs, and Votto in the 8th.
Well, the big key, Dick, is really limiting those big innings. But what the Padres have done a nice job at is answering back tonight. You look in the 1st, they answered back with that home run, and the 5th, they answered back, and also in the 7th. They have an opportunity to get back in the ball game. Alex Henshaw has to get them back in the dugout.
Henshaw, product of San Diego State, and watch out, this one coming right back into our booth.
Dick, you got to have that.
That's the first one in 3 years that has made it into the booth. How about that?
That's outstanding.
And you must be the lucky charm. Yeah. Hey, you don't have to knock me over to
I didn't want to knock you over. France, nice job.
That's it. See, that's why she's here. She's running the show. She should get the ball.
Well, at least it wasn't off her chest.
Yeah, she had her eyes on it all the way. Actually, Mike Trussell did a good job going after that, our statistician, knocking stuff all over the place. Well done.
Knocked our stats all over the place.
There he is. He's the man who made the stop. Saved everyone up here.
Francie's got it.
2 strikes now. And a swing and a miss. Jay Bruce goes down.
Well, Alex Hinshaw, when he gets ahead of hitters, is that devastating slider. He's got the stuff. The consistency has to back that as well.
Well, here's Todd Frazier, the rookie third baseman. All he's done in the last 2 nights is go 4 for 6 with a home run, a couple of singles and a double, and score 4 runs. And another ball that's going to go up over our heads. You know, in cricket, they work in partnerships, batsmen back to back, and of course, you work in twos in that sport. Long drive, foul, way back into the second tier, about 10 feet foul.
Just a long strike if you're in the Padre dugout.
The partnership here, lower end of the order for Cincinnati, of Frazier and Heisey, producing 4 runs, a 2-run homer, 2 singles, and a double. 4 hits, 4 runs between Frazier and Heisey. That looked pretty good.
I think Mike Winters had that up a little bit.
Top of the strike zone. Fox Tracks looked at it favorably. 1-2. Struck him out. So back-to-back strikeouts, Bruce and Frazier. Alex Hinshaw, good start here in the 8th.
Well, if you're going to get lefties out, you got to get righties out as well if you're going to come in from the pen. Nice slider by Alex Hinshaw, tying him up.
Heisey lined to left, lined a single to center and scored, and hit a home run to center field the last time with a man on. So 2 runs scored and 2 driven in for Chris Heisey. Well, the news today, the All-Star game, Giancarlo Stanton will miss the next 4 to 6 weeks with minor knee surgery, and Bryce Harper becomes the youngest player ever to be named to an All-Star roster, the 19-year-old phenom.
You know, he, along with Mike Trout, are the most exciting young players in the game right now.
They really are. Trout's leading the American League. We saw him here, and you could see that he's immensely talented, and he's continued on. Now he's the American League's #1 hitter.
Yeah, he's outstanding talent. He's only going to get better.
Tremendous speed. Not a bad outfielder. He made some good defensive plays as well.
He just has that different gear when he's running. It's fun to watch.
Now Hinshaw trying to strike out the side, overthrows that fastball. 1-2. 6-4. The Reds lead it here in the 8th. Struck him out. Hinshaw fans the side. Jay Bruce. Chris Heisey. Todd Frazier. Well done. We hope you'll be with us. The U.S. Marine Corps Appreciation Day presented by USAA. 105 game to conclude the series with the Reds. Pre-game ceremony before the Padres and Reds take action. And after the game, you kids 14 and younger, you get to go down on the field and run the bases here at Petco Park. Get your tickets at Padres.com or call 619-795-5555. Quinton, first ball hunting against reliever Sean Marshall, drives a single to right field. Now he breaks out with the RBI single the last time up, and first pitch single the other way to start things here in the 8th off Marshall, who came into the game on.
Well, the hitting coach for the Padres really talked about keeping his barrel above the baseball, controlling the barrel, and doing a nice job at that going the other way. Carlos Quinton has that right center approach that you love in an RBI situation. Good job starting the inning off right there.
Sean Marshall came in relief of Latos in the 8th inning on Thursday night and gave up the leadoff pinch homer to Logan Forsythe to tie it. Misses there, although a pretty good looking pitch. As Yasmani Grandal 0 for 3 tonight. Each team with 9 hits. Reds with a couple of homers. The Padres with a solo from Denorfia. Grandal hitting from the right side for the first time tonight. He's a natural left-handed hitter, so he learned at age 15 to hit right-handed.
And to me, he looks like a mirror image for both sides. You don't usually see that from switch hitters. They usually adopt a different style.
Spins that curveball in there for a strike. Yonder Alonso on deck. Fouled at the plate, a slider. Oh, that was a pitch to hit. He took a good cut. There's Alonso. No one out. Quinton at first base with a leadoff hit here in the 8th. So the tying run at the plate for the Padres. Oh my. That was a good looking pitch. That was a pitcher's pitch, but Winters didn't give it to Marshall. A slider that appeared to catch the corner. Count 2-2.
You know it's a good slider when the right-handed hitter flinches.
Pulled. Foul. Foul is the call by third base umpire Brian Knight. That was close. Grandal flirting with a double.
This ball goes right down the line. Just foul. Good call by Brian Knight.
Grandal back to home plate. Count level at 2-2. No one out. Carlos Quinton with a single at first base. Struck him out on a slider.
Well, here's the sequence too. Grandal gets that slider away. He takes for a ball, swings over the top of another slider. Strike right there on another slider. This continues. Gets that one down where he flinched. Fouls that one off, just barely foul, and then puts him away with another slider. Sean Marshall really relies on that slider to Grandal.
Alonso a long light tonight, and he grounds that one into right field after striking out the first 3 times. On his way to third is Quinton, and the Padres have the tying run on as Alonso singles to right. Actually, Alonso has a much better average hitting against left-handed pitching than right-handed.
Well, when you have that, Dick, you really want to keep it simple, and that's exactly what Yonder Alonso does. You have first base occupied, so the first baseman's holding him on. You have a big hole over there that you have to use, and Yonder Alonso does exactly that. Nice job by Carlos Quentin getting to third base.
Pinch runner is last night's starter, Kip Wells. So Wells the pinch runner. With one out, runners at first and third as the Padres try to rally here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cameron Maben, the batter. He struck out, grounded out, and singled and scored tonight.
Okay, big at bats here because Cameron Maben took that right field approach. He's got that hole over on the right side if he wants to try that again.
Wells a very cautious lead at first base. And ball 1.
Down, says the Foxtrot.
Winters a tight strike zone. Outfield deep, preventing the double play. That depth well back. And that one off the plate, but called a strike, 1-1.
Might have been a little payback from the first pitch. Seemed to be off the plate there with the slider.
Quentin at third. Alonso at first, or the pinch runner for Alonso, Kip Wells at first. Maben the batter, Logan Forsythe on deck. Ooh, good stop. That could have been a run for the Padres. That slider wickedly thrown down in the dirt.
Well, you can see why they like Mesoraco. He does a nice job back there blocking baseballs. Really handling the pitching staff.
24-year-old Mesoraco from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Isn't that where they have Groundhog Day?
Punxsutawney Phil.
Way out in front of that off-speed slider. Took a little off that one. 2-2. With 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see if Maben now just shortens up and tries to go to right.
Swinging over that slider right there. Nasty slider by Sean Marshall.
Struck him out. 2 strikeouts for Marshall and 2 singles against Marshall here in the 8th.
Well, you can see how they're going to attack Cameron Maben. That ball's down a little bit. I thought this slider was a little off. Called a strike. And he goes to the slider again. Nice job by Mesoraco blocking that ball. And then swings over the top of that slider. Then finishes him out of the zone. Nice pitching by Sean Marshall.
So with 2 out, it's up to Logan Forsythe, who has lined a soft shot to shortstop for an out. Singled in a run and then singled again on a blue pit in the 7th. Now this is a repeat of the matchup on Thursday night when Forsythe came off the bench as a pinch hitter with the Reds leading 1-0 in the 8th and greeted Marshall with a long home run to left.
Well, it looked like that was a cutter to Logan Forsythe. Did a nice job with a monster swing for the San Diego Padres.
Jesus Guzman out of the dugout into the on deck circle would be next apparently. Outside the slider, and here's Thursday night. Marshall in, and Forsythe hits out. That tied it at 1, and then the Padres won it in the 9th inning on Cabrera's bases loaded walk-off single.
And Dick, don't think pitchers don't remember those things. They remember them a long time. Hopefully Logan Forsythe can just put a solid swing on this pitch.
That one catches the inside corner. Another slider, a steady diet from his favorite pitch, Sean Marshall.
Well, the ball he hit out was a shorter slider, almost a sped up slider. Logan Forsythe took a nice swing on that. You can see him taking a little bit off of the slider here.
And another slider. 2-2.
Well, don't sit at home and say this is easy when you're swinging out of the strike zone. Those pitches look awfully enticing when they're coming in, and it just has a sharp break at end. And that's the reason why Sean Marshall, he was actually supposed to be the closer on this ball club. Chapman has taken that over. But this is a nice luxury to have in the 8th inning.
2 on, 2 out, 2-2 to Logan Forsythe. Slaps that one down into the bullpen area. Strong swing from Forsythe, trying to go the other way.
These are the moments, Dick, you really want to come up and really put a solid swing, solid approach on a ball. Try to get that big hit for your ball club. No better feeling.
Mark Kotze there in the dugout with Denorfia, hoping to get around to Denorfia. 2-2 again. Ground ball sharply into left field for a base hit. Quinton scores. It's 6-5. Logan Forsythe, 3 consecutive singles and a couple of RBIs tonight. That was a good at bat by the young second baseman.
Well, confidence plays a huge role in this ball game, and Logan Forsythe had that home run the other night. Now his confidence is elevated, takes a great 2-strike approach, stays inside the baseball and drives it through that Tony Gwynn hole. 5.5. Big hit by Logan Forsythe.
So the tying run moves to second in the form of the pinch runner Kip Wells, and Forsythe the go-ahead score at first. And we'll have a meeting at the mound here. Dusty doesn't come out.
Just really to go over the type of hitter Jesus Guzman is.
Pitching coach Brian Price in the conversation as Guzman is introduced. Logan Andrusek is ready in the bullpen if needed for Cincinnati.
We talked about Eric Stultz throwing some pitches today, trying to get ready for his rehab assignment. Well, Jesus Guzman was out early taking swings. His first swing, Western Meadow Building.
Oh, maybe an omen. Left-hander Stultz, just like Marshall, the left-hander he faces now. Guzman a pinch hit home run in Arizona. Tying run at second. Go ahead score. Forsythe at first. In the dirt, ball 1. Another slider. Guzman this year has been a terrific pinch hitter. .333. He's got 8 pinch hits. 2 of them home runs, and he's driven in 9.
This guy can rake. He understands how to hit. He's a bad ball hitter, which means he can get out of the strike zone at times and be successful.
That one breaks around the plate, a curveball. But Guzman has the count in his favor, 2-0. Six to 5 Cincinnati. 2 out, 2 on for the Padres, and Guzman the pinch hitter trying to get it even. Ball 3. That slider well off the plate. If Guzman reaches, it would be Denorfia with the bases loaded. Give him the green light, 3-0.
I don't have any problem with it.
In the dirt, ball 4. 4-pitch walk. Guzman loads him up. That moves the go-ahead score into scoring position and brings Dusty Baker out of the dugout. So Marshall gives up the leadoff single to right. Quinton strikes out Grandal. Alonso grounds a single to right. Maven strikes out. Forsythe singles in a run, and now Guzman has loaded him up with a walk. And here comes Logan Andrusek. What does he have?
Well, Logan's a big, tall right-hander. He's got a 4-pitch mix: fastball, curveball, cutter, and also a split. Likes to sit around, I would say, probably 93, 94.
Phil Plantier with DeNorthia going over the scouting report. The game has become so much more academic in the last 20, 30 years. Andrusek, a very tall right-hander, one of the tallest in the National League. I remember he's up around 6'8".
Well, makes it very difficult from the hitter's standpoint. Just that downward angle, very different from what you're normally used to. Mark Kotze looking on, waiting for that big opportunity.
Andrusek indeed is 6'8", 230 pounds. We saw him the other night from Shiner, Texas. He's 3-2 in relief, as you saw. 229 batting average allowed. Aroldis Chapman has not been called in this series, as Logan Forsythe is base hits his last 3 at bats. An RBI single in the 5th. Loops a single to right field in the 7th, and grounds one into left field for another RBI in the 8th.
Yeah, just a solid guy to watch play the game of baseball, because he really takes full advantage of all of his opportunities. Really has shined since he's been up off of that injury. Been a big spark plug. The middle of the infield has done an outstanding job of really infusing some energy into this ball club.
Yeah, the 3 youngsters, Cabrera, Amarista, and Forsythe. So DeNorthia with a home run and a single tonight. Struck out the other 2 times. Padres top hitter at 309 as he steps in. And a chance to do some serious damage here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Such a different feeling from the beginning of the year, Dick. They actually believe that this situation is going to happen for them and in their favor.
Base is full, 6-5 the score. Doesn't start with a fastball, but with a slider. Wells the pinch runner for Alonso. Carrying the tying run. Forsythe the go-ahead score at second, and Guzman at first. Gets away, but stays right there at the batter's box. A split finger. There's the flame-throwing Cuban, Aroldis Chapman, the closer.
The tough part for DeNorthia is just staying in the strike zone. The pressure is definitely on the pitcher.
Drive to center, but not deep enough. Stubbs out there to make the catch, and the inning is over. The Padres leave the bases loaded. They get one to pull to 6-5. Oh my, the Padres have out-hit the Reds 11-9, but trail 6-5 as we go to the top of the 9th inning, and Luke Gregerson comes in to pitch for San Diego. He'll face Mesoraca, the pitcher's spot, and then Zach Cozart. Luke, a busy man, his 41st trip out of the bullpen.
Luke's got his slider back. Been outstanding.
Guzman stays in the game, at first base.
This really has his slider, has good fastball command with his sinker. But when he's in doubt, he's going to throw those 2-3 different sliders that he has, changing speeds with those as well.
Ooh. Well, that wasn't really a purpose pitch. It was a slider that got away from him.
Yeah, this slider just backs up.
Oh, he almost stuck his helmet right into it.
Start leaning over, knowing the scouting report, he loves the slider, so you look out over the plate. That backs up on you.
Mesoraca deep out to center. RBI ground out in the 5th, and Singleton scored in the 7th. Knees buckle a little bit on that slider.
Well, he thought that was going to back up too. Not so much.
Line foul. Miguel Cairo in the on deck circle.
For that put me away slider right here.
Lined again down in the left field corner, almost the same spot.
Well, 2 strikes, you don't want to elevate it. You want to fire that down in the zone. Make him chase. Easier said than done.
Friendly battle for the souvenir.
Look like me and you in the box in that foul ball up here, Dick.
Ground ball to short. Amarista to his left to throw him out. Well, you can add some style to your summer with a pair of exclusive wardrobe sunglasses. You watch the Padres battle the Astros on Thursday, July 19th at 7:05. Then you receive a pair of Padres sunglasses. They're presented by Knock Around Sunglasses. Why don't you order your tickets tonight at Padres.com or 619-795-5555. Thursday, July 19th for the sunglasses. Yeah. Get an extra pair. Cairo looks at a fastball. Ball 1.
Well, number-wise, it's been a struggle for Miguel Cairo. Got much needed at bats on this trip. Ended up subbing for Votto for first base. Went 3 for 11, 273 average.
He's 3 for 13 as a pinch hitter. Good, steady veteran bat. Cozart, the leadoff man, on deck. 6-5 the score. The Reds in the lead.
Looked like a pretty good pitch right there.
Right where Luke wanted it, as Chapman continues to stay loose in the bullpen.
Right off the edge.
Two and 1. High fly ball off first. Guzman into foul territory. 2 away. That brings up Cozart, the leadoff man. Just looking ahead to the bottom half of the 9th inning for the Padres, it'll be Amarista, Headley, and Quinton scheduled. And it looks as if that'll be the man they're going to face. Chapman, highly heralded left-hander. Remember when he came into relief here, was it 2 years ago? 105 miles an hour.
Doesn't throw much soft. Power left-handed pitcher.
Fastball tailing inside, as Cozart is 1 for 4 tonight. Home run and a double last night. He went.
Nothing wrong with that. Taking a peek down at Chase Headley. He's playing back with 2 outs. Giving up that bunt single.
Can't find the slider. 1-2.
I think that's the reason why he tried to lay down a bunt. He understands this tough slider, tough matchup for a right-hander. Just taking a chance. He elevated the slider. He could lay down the third baseline.
Padres, and trying to stay close, have put up a picket fence. They've scored 1 run in each of the last 4 innings. Trailed by 1, 6-5. Big blow in the game for the Reds was the 2-run home run that made it 5-3 off the bat of Chris Heisey against starter Richard. That was in the 7th.
Well, the Padres keep pecking away, like you said, Dick. They gave themselves an opportunity to win a ball game.
Yeah, it's got a piece of that one, and the count remains 2-2.
Luke Gregerson's job's get him back in the dugout, keep that momentum, try to get an opportunity against Chapman.
Another ball just barely fouled off the bat of Cozart. It remains 2-2.
Good location with that slider. Down and away. Driving that slider. 2 strikes, you got to bury that. You can see Grandal getting down on 1 knee. Getting a better location of that pitch.
High fly ball. Left center field. Maben is calling. 1-2-3. Luke Gregerson retires the Reds in the 9th. You're going to see something special. Bottom of the 9th. Fireballing Aroldis Chapman.
Carl's Jr. star of the game, Chris Heisey, line drive single, and he scored a run in the 5th inning. And then a 2-run blast in the 7th, his 3rd home run of the season. That gave the Reds a 5-3 lead. They scored another in the 7th to make it 6-3. The Padres pecked away with singletons in the 7th and 8th to make it 6-5. They've left 5 men on base the last 2 innings, so they've had some chances to reclaim the lead. Let's see what happens in the 9th inning with Amarista, Headley, and Quinton scheduled against this man. Now look at the strikeouts, 66 in 37 plus innings.
Well, this 24-year-old closer's got that power fastball, and he lights up a radar gun. But man, he's a fastball slider mix, has control problems, lives up in the strike zone.
Ryan Hannigan takes over behind the plate here in the 9th inning. Amarista leads it off. High at 99.
Late call by Mike Winters.
Oh, that a strike. Boy, if he gives Chapman the high strike like that, it's going to be a tough inning for the Padres. Called that one a ball. 1-1. Amarista, then Headley and Quinton. .99 again on the fastball. I think Chapman isn't proud of the fact that he threw a fastball 105 miles an hour here to Tony Gwynn Jr. when he was with the Padres. Strikes out Amarista. He just overpowered Alexi. 1 out. He has a tattoo with a baseball and a trail of flames on his left wrist. It says 105.1.
Well, that's a different speed, and when you can throw this hard, you can put tattoos on you. But a violent delivery, closed, and gets on top of this fastball. Different gear when it comes to 101. He reached back on that one.
99, 99, and 101 on the 3 fastballs. Here's Headley from the right side. 100 miles an hour inside.
He's trying to spot that 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Spot it. Eased off a mile an hour and got the striking on the swing from Headley.
Well, the big thing offensively is you got to let them supply the power. You really just have to put the barrel of the bat on the baseball. That's the difficult task.
Outside, not by much. 2-1.
Trying to locate that fastball 100 on the outside corner.
When we first saw him 2 years ago, and he threw that 105-mile-an-hour fastball. All the talk was, wait till you see a slider. But he didn't use it, and he was having trouble controlling the fastball. And they say when he really gets full command, watch out, because he's got a dandy slider.
You're so right, Dick. And you know, when you have a fastball like this, you don't really have to locate it. As a hitter, you really have to amp up to try to get to that pitch, making that slider devastating even if he throws it.
Misses, and the count is 3-2. Chapman has had a little rough spot on the road, as you see Carlos Quinton on deck with a couple of hits tonight. He has allowed 8 earned runs his last 9 in the 3rd. Full count. Headley stays alive.
I know you're probably shocked at this 3-2 count for Chase Headley.
Yeah, there we go. Count, full counts added again. Headley has doubled. Tapped to the mound, safe on a 2-base error by the right fielder, Jay Bruce. And struck out the last time. And strikes out again. Chapman, 100 miles an hour. Just overpowering Amarista and Headley for 2 out.
When you try to get the barrel of the bat on top of this baseball, it is impossible. Devastating fastball that has that late life to it, and it's a strike.
Now here's Carlos Quinton. He's a fastball hitter.
Can he get the barrel into the bat on one of these 100-mile-an-hour fastballs and give it a ride? Down to the final out.
I think with Carlos' resume, he might see a couple sliders in this at bat, plus that power fastball.
Little high, ball one.
Reminds me of Mark Wohlers back in Atlanta Brave days, pumping that 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Another at 100. .95 would be his changeup. And there was the slider. 1-2.
And a located slider at that. That's when you freeze, you tip your hat. You hope you get that fastball down in the strike zone.
Box track shows that ball was off the plate, but 1-2 the count.
Fastball away here.
Struck him out, and Chapman comes in true to form. Strikes out the side in the 9th inning with several 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, and the Cincinnati Reds have taken the game tonight 6-5. The final pitch from Chapman at 102 miles an hour. Let's go to Mike.
Whew. Boy, it takes a second just to exhale from that kind of fastball. Aroldis Chapman lights out. 6-5 your final. Will break down the way. The Padres did a heck of a job clawing their way back into this one. Mark Loretta joins me. We're going to talk all about that. You're going to hear from Buddy Black. And don't forget about our instructional, some fielding fundamentals for you young infielders out there. We'll see you in just a couple of moments.